Welcome back to our series on Work Happy. This episode is for the Enneagram 2s. So, if you are an Enneagram 2, you're going to find a lot of value in this episode. But if you work with Enneagram 2s, and trust me, you probably do, you're also going to want to tune into this episode. This is 9 in 9 Enneagram Wisdom for Life. Let's dive in. So Enneagram 2s bring a lot of gifts to their workplace, but primarily it is their ability to be relationally connected with the people around them. Remember that the drive of the Enneagram 2 is to be relationally connected through helping and serving. So having a 2 in the workplace is truly a gift. Not only are they willing to chip in, lend a hand, help with projects, but they're also going to be very relationally attuned to everybody around them. They're going to want to connect with their coworkers and with the people that maybe come into the business. This is a huge way that Enneagram 2s elevate the business that they're in. Listen to Staci, who is an Enneagram 2. She is a 1-to-1 subtype, but listen to her talk about her career and the ways in which she stays relationally connected all the time.
I was in HR for 20 some years. I was very, of course, people oriented. In HR, you're the new hires, you're helping them. And again, that's all in my realm of I'm helping them. I mean, my old job, I was the first one I would be the first face. I was the face of the company, gave them the tours, I was the go-to. If they didn't know who to go to, it was a perfect role for me. I'll age myself, and they used to call me Julie from the Love Boat. So
Love
so
that.
that was me. That of course now that aged me. But and then I went on to do event planning, which is very interpersonal or interreactional. I um, loved it because I got to meet people that I didn't normally get to meet through, I had different events that involved people that would normally just sit at a desk.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal was like, let's get to know them. And so I loved that. I also am a project manager and an executive assistant. Well, those two are all about getting, the project managers helping people stay on track and get them to the finish line in a timely manner. And that's like perfect for me because that's again helping someone succeed to their goal.
Yeah.
An executive assistant, I'm a right hand person to someone that, is too busy. They might be too busy to get to this or that. My role is I always felt like, I don't have to be the shining star in the front. I'm going to feel like a shining star when he's shining or she's shining. So I'll do the things all behind the scenes and it'll make them successful. And if they're successful, I feel successful.
Yeah.
So I've been very blessed to have through my whole career the jobs that just fit in that niche. And I knew what I wanted to be when I was probably 10. I'm a very loyal person, so I have longevity. My first job out of college, I was there 11 years till they got sold out. Then my next job, I was at 21 years till they got sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at this one just for 4, but I plan on staying here till I retire.
So I'm curious, how many Enneagram 2s out there can relate to being called Julie from the Love Boat? I'm sure many of you can. So the shift that I'm inviting you to consider today is that pride is actually masquerading as a superhero. Now, let me tell you a little bit what I mean by that. So pride is the shadow of the Enneagram 2. It's the villain in the subconscious that's really trying to sabotage the pure heart of a 2. And that need to be a part of everything, that need to be involved, to be important, and to be connected all the time, while it can look really noble and great and like you're here to save the day and be the superhero, actually, what's driving that could be an unhealthy pride. I want to take you back now to the interview, and I want you to listen to how Staci just instinctively jumps in and wants to be involved, and how she was able to recognize that pride was behind that. What is the hardest thing about being a type 2 at work or in your career?
I would say not being very good at saying no. So I will overextend myself um, just because I want to help or make something more successful. And if no one, I'll take the jobs that a lot of people won't want. I don't want it either, but someone's got to do it. And so to make this project successful, I'll do it. So uh, I'll overextend myself. If there's a project, this happened not too long ago, and it was a very tight deadline. I won't put my work phone away at night if it's something a deadline or a big project. And it got to the point where my husband's like, it can wait. And I knew it could. So I had to purposely go, you're right. I'm not going to have it in the same room. And that's why I'll never get an Apple Watch ever, because I'm one of those people that if I get a text, I have to answer it right away because I don't want them to think they're not important to me.
Yeah. So it's this idea of this affection and esteem of wanting other people to esteem you and to appreciate you and to love you. And
Yes.
that I'm hearing.
Yes, I don't want them to ever think they're not important to me or that I'm not doing my part.
What tip would you give or advice would you give to other people in their career that are the number two?
Make sure you have a work-life balance
Mm.
and make sure you don't take on too much. You don't have to save the day. You don't have to make sure everything is it's not your responsibility for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I want to just speak to the passion of pride.
Mm-hmm.
The whole you have to be responsible, you have to make everything work.
Mm-hmm.
That's a a pride issue, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what would you say about that?
I do take, great pride in everything, but what I do isn't the most important. I'm not always going to be the make or break to make something work.
And
I'm not
believing
all that. How about that? Like I'm not all that. And I know I'm not. I better get my hands in there to make sure it is okay.
and that's yeah, and that's being able to recognize that as pride
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Like
hard.
I don't need to be in that meeting because I'll even say sometimes, "Hey, why wasn't I in that meeting?" They're like, "Well, we didn't think you needed to be." I think I should be in that meeting.
Because you'd like to be in all the meetings,
I
right?
want on all the meetings because they need me, but they really don't need me for all those meetings. So yeah.
You've just seen how when pride is driving, you'll be tempted to exhaust yourself and you'll be sacrificing relationships rather than thriving in them. Before Staci took my class, Design for More, she thought the only way to prove her worth was to overextend herself, to over invite herself to be involved and to help all the people all the time. Now she's able to step back and recognize when there is a healthy boundary and be able to say, I'm not going to make or break this situation. It's okay for me to not always be involved. Bringing your shadow into the light breaks its power almost immediately. In my class, Design for More, we bring the shadows into the light in week 2 of the course because it's so powerful to see what happens when you're able to identify the way in which your shadow, no matter what number you are, is impacting your everyday life, often exhausting you, causing you to be less happy and less fulfilled in life. Designed for More, my Enneagram class is open, and the registration can be found in the links in my bio or in the links below. I would love to see you in this 5-week class. And as a podcast listener, you can get $99 off the course when you register just by using the discount code podcast.